add these overlay files as media sources. So for screen starting, I want the pink screen. And there's a background one, and then the overlay one, which actually has text. So we have two different texts that you can throw up here. So I am going to add source, add media source. So we call it DV for background. Click OK. Then you have some options for media source. You click browse. And what I'm going to do to make this easier on myself is click in the title bar or the URL bar here in Windows Explorer, and we're going to copy that text. And in the ODS up here, open there as a page. Make it easier to do. And we're going to add the background. Now this will add it as a global source that we can add to any screen. To make it a little bit easier, we are going to enable looping. Make sure close is not checked. That is not sent. There we go. Nice, beautiful background screen. I love it. And we're going to add another media.
It's just got no of that.
That's better, isn't it?
Starting,
That makes it brighter.
brown,
Stay by on, babe.
starting, loop, click OK.
You see.
And you can position that however you like, or make it whatever figure you like, depending
Window
on
open.
the layout you want going on the screen. So for example, I can have that there, and then we can have overlays going here, or we can add chat, and then we can. I'm actually going to
Got one viewer. Welcome to the stream, mate. Whoever it is. Say hi in the chat if you want to make yourself known.
And then you also see in here that each of these has both a screen ending text that can play, and then it also has an offline ending that you can either just use or add that to your Twitch, as Twitch lets you just put an offline in the text. You can do that. So we can add that image. I don't know why I tried to do that. Or we could add some elements to that image like I have here, which we will do later. I've gone ahead and recreated that for the screen ending screen as well.
Thanks for the light, Mohan.
Now we have screen starting. Here
Appreciate it, mate. Where are you from?
Already looking good. Already looking way better than what I used to use, which is mostly static images. So we're getting off to a good start.
Well, extra follow from me there. Thanks, mate.
So if we're sticking with the overlay
Yeah,
stuff,
if you want to speak back to me, just write in the comment box.
So this is if you have gameplay up and you want to add your webcam on top of it and you want a nice little frame for your webcam. It's really appealing with what most people are doing, and they have two different sizes for if your webcam is 4x3 or full 16x9. So you have the size cropped out or not. You'll have to play around with stretching it if you're actually going to get it meant. So if you really like this, because obviously I don't have a gameplay source. Now I might be able to throw and add a new default source. We'll call it console. And then capture card here. And then we have a dedicated source. And then I would make a console plus space cam scene. From this scene, I will add video capture device, my existing capture card here. Okay, nice. Go ahead. Apparently I have the blackout through this one. What? What works too? It's updated. Whatever, fine. You get the idea. And then we will add another video capture. Actually, we will add the black magic device, which is my webcam. But it's probably a video capture device. So
Yeah, I think that's the fourth new follower I've had today.
drag over
It's not
here,
bad.
put it on a feed.
Nice when we get so far with 10 followers even better. Let's get some more stock from my eBay stock. A lot of old stock on that's not really selling. I'm streaming a lot and then not really anything else to sell.
And I'm actually going to use the
Will be.
3 one, because that is how I prefer to see face cam.
Will be soon.
Okay? You get a nice flare, because you don't need to see all this extra room, all the mess in the background of my living room, unless you have a really nice set or whatever. So for this specific use case here, you can add the frame over top of my webcam, and then you can position the frame where you like. So you can drag it wherever. It's not going to limit you. By the way, if you accidentally do that all the time, like I do, if you have a force and never remove, push the lock button. I was so grateful they added that. So if I want to play and have my face kind of over here, because I'm always kind of looking into the frame of Usually if you hold on a video for
I do. I think all the time.
it will
Once in a
start,
while,
it will bring up a
I
green
felt something weird and I got a shiver.
You
I
can
looked
check
up
out my
and
full
fucking spine and trying to fucking down the bed. Like, oh, you little shit. As soon as
Sensed it there, didn't you?
yeah, but as soon as I looked at it, I went, oh, you little shit. It started going back up to
Nice to
16.
meet you. So that is this meat. Got a nice little frame for it that matches the rest of the screen. And you're not seeing too much extra space behind it. It's me using my background lighting and nice little RGB suitcase back there. You get the idea. If you go over here to your Twitch dashboard and go to channel, come over here to video player banner. This is where you're going to upload that offline. I'm not going to do it just yet because I want to customize it a bit, but this is where you update it. You have up to 2 megabytes, so if you add a bunch to the JPEG, just make sure it's small. Which, by the way, if you do want to customize it, they do provide you all of these icons, including the PSP with the icons, for you to basically type out your social media accounts or your PC specs or things like that, or if you want to use them to make your own Twitch channels. All of these are provided here for you as they work in these really nice. Alright, so now that we have our stream starting and stream be right back, stream ending, scene set up, we can come over here to the different folders and use the icons to create our own information channels on these pages. So I'm going to lock this background and then we can move around the text as we see fit. Because this initial screen is pretty cool. Saying the screen starting, everything's animated and things like that. Like that's already a step above everyone else. But if we want to go one step further, we can put this up here. By the way, if you don't like how this is moving around, you can go to settings, general, snap sources to horizontal and vertical center. And then we can snap it to other sources. So you can see it kind of pitch there as it kind of wants to lock in place. It makes your life a lot easier. Alright, so we're going to add image. You got to know what you're doing first. So for example, we have about here, or you use the tiers for like actual tiers, development or whatever. But you have your about section, Discord, Facebook, Steam profile. There's a lot of options here. We're going to start with Discord. But since this is Steam, I'm not sure to overlay yourself on Steam. But we will try. So I'm going to call it Discord_Team. Okay. Browse. We're going to come over to the pink folder, icons, and Discord. And I do have 2 sizes for it. This is the default size. Yeah, you can see here, depending on where you have it, it might not be the easiest to see, but that's okay. Now, to go along with the Discord icon here, which we could make a little bigger if desired, you don't want to make it too big to get pixelated or anything. You can go plus, add a text source. We're going to call this join our Discord URL. Okay, for the font, we want that big noodle titling that we installed with the package here. We have a lot of fonts installed. I'm going to type big noodle titling. And we're going to leave it on 36. The default white would be fine, although you could maybe add a stroke. We'll start with that. And we're just going to type ethosbox.com/discord. I can spell. You click OK, and we're going to pair that up nice and neat next to the Discord icon. We're going to form reset transform. Made it too big. So 36 font goes nicely with the icon center up. And then you can select these 2 sources at the same time and move them around as desired below your text here. We put it there for now, and then like 3 at the bottom here. So we have Discord, and we'll add a new text file, or new icon file rather, image. Which ones do we want to use? We have Discord, Instagram I'd like to promote through this, and then YouTube, of course. So that works. Or it could be Twitter, but everyone knows Twitter. So we're going to do Instagram, IG_team. Use naming that you know what things are, but don't require a link on the text. By the way, if you'd like to keep sources together, like like the text with the icon, and move them around together without losing track of them, select them both from your sources list here. Right click, group selected icon or item. Then you can call this Discord. Minimize it. These together. Group. Instant. And then we'll make a new group for you too. I think this is pretty cool. You could make them bigger. You could add more information. I think this is pretty cool. You could even make a separate one where you kind of pop your face up and you starting over here, or something like that. Now, if you were using the same color theming across all of your different sources here, you could actually just select these three groups and hit copy, and then on there, be right back here, for example, I can just paste them as references or duplicate. So if you do reference, then anything, actually, don't let me copy one at a time, but then anything I change in one will affect the other. So if I come down here, and go to Discord URL and add like some members to the end, and when I go to be right back, that's going to be changed. So theoretically, you might not want to do that.
So we want to
do
do
it.
it.
If you want to be able to change the text without affecting both copies, then you can paste a duplicate. However, keep in mind the actual image source will still be the same, and so if you change this, it will still change to the other one. So a little iffy. And if you want to make sure things are lined up between scenes here, you can actually right-click a group. Transform, copy transform, and the next one, right click the group, transform, paste transform. We'll put it in the exact same size and place as the other one, which is really neat. I'm going to recreate this in my 3 scenes. Okay, by the way, if you're using the same color scheme, or for whatever reason with your setup, you want to use the exact same icon layout for all 3 of these scenes, you can actually put these groups in their own scene and nest that scene. It's a really powerful functionality of OBS. Or you can just add the group. So for example, if I go to new scene, I can click add group, and choose existing groups. So I can add existing insta2, for example, and add that back in from the other scene. Or if I want all 3 of these on the same scene, I can make a new scene, call it slide text layer, copy these over, but you can only do one group at a time, which is annoying, I keep forgetting. Roughly slide these across. I'm not actually going to keep this. And then on your scene, instead of doing them individually, you can add a scene, choose scene, and choose slide text layer, and then add them all at once. So then you can just update this singular scene, and it affects all of these. I have an entire video about scene nesting if you're curious, but ideally you get the gist. But I'm not actually going to do that here since I wanted to get colors specifically. People assume most wealthy individuals did clean up himself in the long workday. While Tim's boss recommended that he should read more books in order to increase his chances of getting promoted this year, Tim didn't do bother reading, especially now that a new season of his favorite show is coming out. When John arrives home, he immediately launched into his computer to start studying. Hours pass as John reviews his notes for his upcoming exam. While John already has a master's degree and multiple designations, he continues to put in a few hours every night to work towards another accreditation, which will help him scale the corporate ladder faster. In fact, John recently learned one of his idols, Dan Locke, invests over $500,000 a year into continuous learning. John figures that if millionaires are investing that much time and money into learning new things, then he should definitely do the same. Therefore, difference number one between the rich and the poor is that the rich need to learn. At work the next day, Tim's boss begins handing out bonuses to all the employees. As Tim opens up his envelope, he sees that he's gotten a $100 bonus, much less than all of his peers. Tim goes up to his boss and complains, saying that he's been at the company for 10 years, and this is an embarrassing bonus to have received. His boss goes on to point out that Tim never stays late to help his team, and that his productivity has dropped every year since he started. Across town, John is plowing through his current project at work when his boss approaches him. His boss hands him an envelope, and as he opens it, he sees in front of him a $10,000 check in his name. John is stunned and very appreciative of the generous bonus. John's boss goes on to explain. Canadian Trucker here, coming to you from my lair, one of my layers, where we keep some of the stuff we sell on CanadianService.com, and probably one of the best places to be in the apocalypse. Anyways, I wanted to make a video today about a variety of things, okay? Because information is the most important thing, I think, when it comes to preparedness. Awareness is preparedness, especially in the acute phase of crisis. It's important to know exactly what is actually going on. Now, if you haven't noticed, I don't make videos on the daily. I was going to start doing that on the Cyberpunk YouTube channel. I just got a little sidetracked and trying to build out a studio for that specific purpose. So hold on, don't worry, it's coming. It's going to be more topical content, going over the latest news and things of that nature. But for myself personally, in order for me to feel confident in making a video like this, I need to ingest at least 100 times the amount of time that it takes me to do the video in terms of information, filter it through thine brain, and then give it to you. So I might need to listen to 10 hours of audiobook or 10 hours of documentaries or discussions on various issues before I feel confident coming out and making a video which is opinionistic, okay? So that's why I don't do it on the daily. Now, there's a lot of information nowadays. We have the information superhighway at our fingertips, and that's been a mixed blessing, because what often happens is that when the mainstream media comes up with a narrative, we can view that as the thesis. Okay, I didn't learn a whole lot in university that's practical right here and now, but I did learn a few things about logic. And what often happens is the hegemonic ruling power comes out with a thesis of what is going on in the world. And immediately, within 24 hours, the alternative media will come out with a antithesis, or an antithesis. Now, oftentimes, this is a polar opposite to what the mainstream media is saying about something. Why this is so important? Because let's face it, we're living in times where there's some strange things happening, and there's some contradictions happening in terms of certain laws which are being imposed, and a lot of people can see it, and a lot of people are becoming very suspicious as to what's going on. Now, I have my suspicions as to what's going on, but I haven't quite dialed it down. I haven't quite nailed it down, so I'm not going to come out here and pretend like I have the answers. The The problem is that when the media proposes a thesis, mainstream, okay, they have their general thesis, which even, even though Fox News might disagree with NBC, they kind of agree
sit,
stuff, right? But then the alternative media will tend to come out with a antithesis, and oftentimes people get behind it almost immediately, okay? Just because I don't necessarily think it's driven by the desire to be contrarian. It's just a simple distrust of everything that the mainstream says. But on a long enough timeline, what we find is that the truth is somewhere in the middle. The truth is a synthesis between what the mainstream said and what the alternative media said. Oftentimes it takes maybe a couple of years even for what the alternative media was theorizing to actually come true in some way, shape, or form. So what I'm trying to say here is that I would advise against immediately taking alternative viewpoints because you distrust the mainstream. Now, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of truth dilution that goes on, but there's also, propaganda works both ways. And while you can be critical of the thesis, that doesn't mean you have to dig a trench in the antithesis camp, and die on that hill. Necessarily. Okay, the truth might be something that you're not even thinking about. And let me tell you something. If I was ruling over a people, okay, and I wanted to preserve my power, let's say I was a king somewhere, and I wanted to give the illusion of democracy. Well, what I might do if I knew there was going to be opposition to me is that I would try to get ahead of that. I would try to foment a movement which appeared to be grassroots, or at least maybe if not leading it, be highly influential within that movement to the point where I could effectively steer it and be my own criticism. That's called controlled opposition. Which side is that happening on? I don't know. I'm just saying that it's another level of the game that you need to think about. It's not as simple as, you're going on the internet with your confirmation bias, doing what you call research, which is usually not adherent to the scientific process at all. It's just you going out and seeking information which confirms what you already believe. That's not research, okay? Doing research requires a lot more scrutiny than just going and believing something that
who you are, it's what kind of life you live. Those you choose to surround yourself with will play a huge part in the quality of your life, or lack of quality in your life. If you hang around with only angry and negative people, your life will be full of anger and negativity. If you surround yourself with kind, compassionate, and positive people, your life will have more kindness and positive energy. Who you surround yourself with is crucial, and sometimes it is important you reflect on those you are spending the most time with, and asking yourself, do I really want these people in my life? If you have any of these people in your life, it might be time to rethink how much time you spend with them. If any at all, it might not be easy to limit or end all interaction with these people if they are friends or family. But if they are not making your life or theirs better by you spending time together, maybe it's time for both of you to move on. Number 1, dishonest people. Number 2, controlling people. Number 3, angry, bitter, and negative people. Victim mentality. Number 4, takers, never givers. And number 5, those who have no desire to grow. Let's talk a little more about each personality so you can spot them, and if needed, limit your time or end your time with them. Number 1, dishonest people. Trust is a major human need for any relationship. Friendships, romantic relationships, family members. If you can't trust them, limit your time with them. If they lie repeatedly or rarely give you the full story, this is a clear sign they don't respect you. Address the problem with the person, if you can. And if the situation doesn't change, move on and move forward. Don't respond with hate or revenge in mind. Just move on. Take the high road and let them play out their dishonesty elsewhere. Remember, if something feels off, it is most likely off. Number 2, controlling people. Freedom is a basic human need we all share. It's when we feel like another human is controlling us or trying to. It is very uncomfortable and unnatural. When you limit or end your time with these kinds of people, it will feel like a weight has been lifted off your back. That heavy burden you carry around being under someone else's command is life-draining. Follow your heart. You know those who are right for you. Number 3, angry, bitter, and negative people. It goes without saying that your life would be better without angry, bitter, and negative people in it, but you must be able to spot these people. Sometimes their behavior is more subtle than you might think. Constantly judging others, always blaming and living in the victim role, regularly getting into arguments with others, complaining, always finding the negative in any situation. These kind of behaviors are not good for you if you want to live a true, happy, fulfilled life. Find those who see the positive in each situation, who respond with compassion, who can calm and light up any room. Your life will be much better for it. Number 4, takers, never givers. It's pretty self-explanatory, but it's those who always expect things to be given to them, to be done for them, but who rarely ever offer the same level of giving in return. It's the person who calls you when they need you, but doesn't answer when you need them. The one who will spend time with you when it suits them, but not when it doesn't. It's almost like they feel superior, above you. Well, they are not. We are all equal. As if you find yourself in constant interaction with a taker, end that relationship. Because notice how good it feels. That's number 5. Those who have no desire to grow. are someone who is on a constant, never-ending search for growth and self-development, spending time with those who aren't can be very draining. You may not need to end your time with these people. They may be family or lifelong friends, but to expect your greatest life when you surround yourself with people who have zero intention of getting better ever, that's insanity. At the end of the day, you choose who you spend time with, and you choose who you spend the most time with. You don't have to be rude or abrupt or disrespectful when limiting or ending time you spend with people. You don't even have to explain why. Just do what feels right for you. Because that is usually what is right for everyone involved.
What are you doing?
But
In life, there are laws. In growth, there are laws. If you want to learn and grow, you must observe, pay attention, and take decisive action
hello if
to
you
ensure
love to
these
stream.
laws work
Come in
in
the
your
chat box with
favor
who you are.
and not against you. The greatest achievers
I'm a lot of
on
viewers
earth
but no
pay
chatters.
attention to the laws of
Come on, don't be
growth
shy.
and success, so they not only achieve more, but also live a richer, more fuller life. Here are the 4 important laws of growth. Pay attention, listen closely, take notes, and take action. Number 1, speak less. Number 2, listen more. Number 3, react less. Number 4, observe more. Now listen closely as we go over each law, why it is important, and how to go about applying it in your life. Number 1, speak less. Let your results speak for you. You don't always need to tell everyone what you're up to or what you're planning to achieve. Let your results do the talking. People will notice and respect you more if they see your results before they hear your plans. The majority of great achievers talk less than they work. They talk less than they achieve. You'll rarely find a great man or woman talking more than they achieve. In fact, if you think about how ridiculous that statement is, you'll understand it is impossible. How can one be great if their talking outweighs their doing? If their results are less than their words? That is not greatness. It is ignorance and arrogance. Talk less. Do more. Let your results speak for you. Number 2, listen more. You cannot learn if you do not listen. You cannot grow if you do not learn. So, learn to listen more. Learn to listen better, more intensely. Listen with purpose and intention to get something out of it. If you are serious about making your life as great as it can be, you should be committed to be an eternal learner, a student of life. You should be as committed to curiosity as a child. The kind of curiosity and presence that will enable you to notice things others do not. And that will give you the advantage. Take in advice from the best teachers and learn from the failures of the worst teachers. You really can learn from everyone, from the greatest failures and the greatest achievements. Pay attention. Listen more to be more. respond. Don't jump to conclusions or let your emotions overpower you. You have to discipline your emotions and your reactions to every person and every circumstance in your life. Discipline gives you power, and this is especially true when it comes to controlling your emotions. There's an important quote that says, one of the best lessons you can learn in life is to master how to remain calm. When it all seems too hard, remain calm. When it all seems too good, remain calm. Don't overreact. Don't over-celebrate. Master calm. Practice being calm in all situations. Looking at every situation objectively and calmly so you can respond effectively. As the saying goes, learn to discipline your emotions because if you don't, your enemies will use them against you. Number 4, observe more. The closer you observe, the better your understanding. And the better your understanding, the better your decisions will be. Pay close attention to those you admire. The people who are living a life similar to that you want to live. Pay close attention to the teachings you want to master, the principles you want to master, the skills and habits you want to develop. Observe what works and what doesn't work in your own life. Pay attention and observe yourself, how you feel physically and mentally after all events and circumstances. Observe, evaluate, and make changes accordingly. And finally, the principle of growth everyone must add to the recipe: take action. As Bruce Lee said, knowing is not enough, we must apply. Willing is not enough, we must do. If you want anything in life, it's not coming to you while you sit on your hands. Get up, get out there, and get it. Make a decision that you want it, and do whatever it takes to get it. Everything you think, everything you feel, every action you take is because of your beliefs and values. You may not be aware of it, you may not be conscious of it, but your values shape your decisions, and your decisions shape your life. If you value money more than happiness, your life might be full of expensive things, but there will be no joy in that experience. Your values signal what is important to you. They are emotional states that show you what is important and what you want to experience. Imagine how different your life would be if you changed a value of money and replaced it with the value of love. Creating and stating your values consciously can change the direction of your life. If you decide to apply any of these values to your life, in your own words, in your own way, your
own life will be one of more values. The following are the 10 most important human values. Number 1, health and energy. This might be the most important value of all to some people. It will be the most important value of all to some of those who have experienced serious health problems. Without physical health, it is very unlikely you can experience and enjoy all other values at their deepest levels. Great health gives you energy and vitality, which enables you to dive deeper into the more important things in life and give more energy and time to those you love. Make the value of health and energy a priority in your life. By learning what daily nutrition and exercise is best to fuel your body, what would it take for you to be at your physical peak? Learn it. Apply it. Number 2, love. The overuse of this word makes it easy to misunderstand the true meaning of it. This is not just romantic, but love of all things. True, non-judgmental love. The love you have for your family, your friends. The love you have for your favorite things. The love you have for your passion and your mission. Making love a priority in your life means there is no room for hate or indifference. You could experience love doing anything or with anyone. You could experience love in yourself, by yourself. How would your life change if you valued love higher? Number 3, gratitude and appreciation. There's truly no greater power on earth than gratitude. Real gratitude shuts down all other negative emotions in the moment. So how important is gratitude to you? Well, how important is it for you to feel good? If it is important, you must make gratitude a top value and practice it as a priority every day. It costs you nothing, but it makes you so rich. It takes nothing away from anyone else, but it gives you so much power. How much more magical would your life be if you lived in a constant state of appreciation for everything that is great in your life? Number 4, kindness and compassion. The world would certainly be a better place if How much more magical would your life be if you lived in a constant state of appreciation for every
Most distraction, it turns out, is not spurred by the external triggers at all. Most distraction does not start outside of us, but rather starts from within. The root cause of why we become distracted is because we feel these internal triggers, these uncomfortable emotional states that we seek to escape. So if we're going to answer Plato's question of why do we get distracted, why do we do things against our better judgment, we have to start one layer deeper with first principles of why do we do anything? What's the nature of human motivation? And when you think about it, most people will tell you some version of carrots and sticks, that it's about the pursuit of pleasure and the avoidance of pain. This is Freud's pleasure principle.
Yeah.
But neurologically speaking, that's not true. That in fact, we do not do things in the pursuit of pleasure and the avoidance of pain. That neurologically speaking, we only do things for one reason, and that is to avoid discomfort. Physiologically, we know this is true. If you go outside and it's cold, that's not comfortable. What do? You put on a coat. And when you go back inside, now it's too hot, that's not comfortable, you take it off. If you're hungry, you feel hunger pangs, you eat. And when you're stuffed, oh, that doesn't feel good, you stop eating. So physiologically, we feel this all the time. This is called the homeostatic response.
Be money, but if you are working hard and you are creating good content and you are sharing it to the right places such as YouTube, Twitter, then you will start to see results. This is a realistic outcome of what can happen when you are a small streamer that makes YouTube videos, that doesn't spend their whole life on Twitch. This is my first Twitch payout, and I literally got affiliated in September 2019, and I hit my threshold in December.
When you on the road to 10K or your first 1,000 or your first 100, you really put your all into this, or to a Twitch affiliate, or to level up program. You're gonna put all your energy into unlocking this, right? But don't forget why you started doing this is because you love video games. You love the interaction with your community. You know what I mean? Make sure you're taking care of your mental and your physical, you know, your spiritual, your mental, your physical, your spiritual. Make sure you take care of those, because you don't want to burn out too early to where you done bought all this equipment, you done invested in yourself, and you're tired of it because you didn't reach that goal soon enough, or you just put in too much time too soon without having a proper plan and schedule like we just discussed. Number 7, dominate your game. I know that we all want to play Fortnite, Call of Duty, Apex. It's easy. I know that's what we want to play the most. PUBG, you know, but while you're on the come up, the equation you're trying to solve is, what game can you be the top at, you know? No matter what platform you're on, what game will you be the top streamer for, or in the top percentage, so you don't get buried in all the competition. So what I want you to do is, instead of just playing a game, just cutting on your stream and not being seen, do some research, find a game, and a great site actually is twitchstrike.com. So make sure you check that site out. It'll tell you the best time, the best games to stream, but do some research yourself. You literally can search on Twitch, search on Facebook, search on Mixer, see how many people are at the top with the most viewers, and see how many pages it would take to get to you. All right. So what you want to do is find a game that has enough interest. You know what I mean? It might be 20 viewers. Might be 100 viewers, but if you can get the top of that page, it's better than playing Fortnite with 1 viewer, which is probably yourself at first, you know. So definitely consider that. Dominate your game, research it, be tactical in this. Use your time wisely, okay? Because you can end up streaming hundreds of hours and only get 50 followers. Or you could study and figure out a way to get to the top of the directory. Number 8, have a brand/purpose. What do you stand for? What makes you different from other streamers? You know, everybody streams, bruh. So what is gonna be something that's unique for you? What is the movement that people could get behind? For me, it's the Noti Gang, you know what I mean? It's the Only Fam, because that's how we move, you know? Feed the fam is the motive, you know? And that's something that my community can relate to. That's something that we really take seriously, you know what I mean? We're a family. So what is your fam going to be called? What are you streaming for? What are you trying to accomplish? Are you trying to inspire? Are you trying to educate? Are you trying to entertain? What is the motive for what you're doing? Make sure, and actually let me know in the comments right now, what is your purpose for streaming? What made you want to do this? What are you trying to accomplish by cutting on your stream and streaming your favorite games? Let me know in the comments. Number 9, we talked about this. As y'all gonna see, there's a pattern to this. Be more than a game, okay? The game is just there, you know? The game is getting potential viewers to your page. But what's gonna keep your viewers, your community entertained and engaged in the long term is you. So like I said, what do you stand for? Be more than the game. If you want to play something else, you don't want that to just you be tied to that forever. You know what I mean? So figure out what are you there for? You know, it's the same thing. Purpose. Be more than the game. Remember that when you're streaming, okay? And I'm not saying being over the top, you know what I mean? But figure out who am I? You know, and this could come to a personal branding thing. This can come to your character. You could build a character around yourself. You can think about what makes you unique, because in this game, this oversaturated game, pun intended, you want to make sure that you stand out. Make sure that you restream at first. This is my opinion. Make sure you restream so you can grow your platforms across platforms, and that way you have ownership, okay? If Twitch goes down, Facebook goes down, YouTube bans you, which happened to me once, so you don't want all of your community to be tied in one place. So make sure you restream. You can use restream.io or MobCrush. Streamlabs OBS has just announced their integrated restream platform. So make sure you're restreaming at first, build your community up, and then decide where you want to take your gifts after you grow a community, and you'll see which one works for you the best. Now for the bonus tip.
K, the new eau de parfum by Dolce & Gabbana.
Three bonus tips. Thank y'all for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you have not done that yet. Now time for the 3 bonus tips. Bonus tip number 1, study your analytics, okay? Figure out what game allows you the most growth. Go to your dashboard,